Welcome back to Chamber Exchange, a TV show. I want to thank our sponsor, Bank Hometown. Here in our second segment, thrilled to have with us Ed Manzi, who's the chairman and CEO of Fidelity Bank, also a member of the Chamber Board of Directors. Ed, welcome.
Nice to be here, Tim. Good morning.
Well, I think like a lot of people, we're all thrilled that things are opening up and people getting back out, doing business, both formally and socially, and look forward to seeing you soon.
I was so excited to go to the chamber breakfast a couple of weeks ago. It was like, it was the best day of the year, probably, just to go see people.
Yeah, the Breakfast Club and former Governor Jane Swift.
Yeah,
Bob,
that was fun.
I was sharing on the previous segment, some of the data that she shared with us. One of them being that, how all sectors of the economy right now are being impacted in terms of a need for workers and employees, and certainly, the fact that the 4.5 million women are not working now that were working prior to COVID speaks to the disruption impact with schools being remote, daycare being disrupted. So it's going to take a little time before we're back into full operating mode.
100%.
Well, with that, notwithstanding some of the challenges, and certainly Fidelity Bank was one of those banks that stepped up with the Paycheck Protection Program, which was so critical to so many of our businesses. Just recently, Fidelity Bank hit a major milestone. Want to share that with our viewers? Yeah,
we crossed the $1 billion total asset mark, which is really it's one of those thresholds that bankers like to talk about. Every 100 million or a billion, that kind of thing. But I think of it more like just a one measurement stick of what we really care about, which is our mission, our vision, our philosophy is all about helping as many people as we can using our life design banking approach. So this is, it's rewarding to us because people are voting with their feet, and they're choosing. A lot of people are choosing Fidelity Bank, and we take that as a privilege. And as you pointed out, this past years particularly, it showed how important it was who you banked with. So yeah, we're pretty excited about it. Looking forward to continuing that trend.
Well, congratulations. $1 billion shows a level of strength and security, and maintaining all the while a local contact. And we really recognize that through this crisis, how important those individual relationships were between our businesses and their bankers. And towards that end, you mentioned the Fidelity Bank Life Design banking approach. Want to share with our viewers, what the elements of that are?
Yeah, sure. I mean, one of the most important parts of our mission statement says we care deeply about your well-being. We're talking to our clients, our community, and our colleagues when we say that. And because we cared so deeply, we decided to do something more than most banks, which we basically all sell the same products and services. But we realized that there's a whole lot of people in our region and the country that don't really feel all that comfortable making financial decisions. They may be levels of sophistication and complexity and all that, but at the end of the day, what should I do and why? And so we built a very straightforward, powerful system. It's a 4-step process. We call it the CARE process, that helps our clients make good decisions about their money. We give them the clarity they need so they know what option is right for them, not just the bank, but what option is right for them and why, so they can move forward with confidence. And the more we talk about that, the more I talk to folks about it. In any walk of business, whether it's a small business, medium-sized business, a family, individual, that resonates so powerfully with them. So, that I think we attribute this growth that we talked about. We've been working on that life design promise and banking approach for about 15 years now. So we keep improving it and getting better. But there's never been a better time. If you think about that, April 2020, when the crisis was crashing over everyone's head and no one knew what to do.
Right.
Clarity about what to do and why, so you can move forward in confidence. That resonated loud, screaming, thank you. It was really powerful.
Right. And you mentioned, that time last April when kind of virtually across the state and in many cases across the country, we saw the shutdown occur. Fidelity banked up. We mentioned the PPP. The volume that you guys addressed was pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. I mean, we helped hundreds of businesses, thousands of them, and we like to say thousands of local folks keep their job or keep their paycheck through that crisis. And we were along with other community banks doing our part. But what was fascinating is the rest of the business kept going too. So we did in total, I think $350 million of loans last year, which included home mortgages and the PPP loans and regular construction loans. And almost all of it was digital remote work. The whole industry, I like to say our industry is under attack by, financial innovative companies. And we're all trying to, keep up with that. That pandemic accelerated that change dramatically. And we were able to meet the clients where they were, where they are. And I think, that's a big part of our future too, is to continue that digital transformation, we call it, while maintaining, the value of that life design promise at a local level.
Yeah, well, you just articulate, why it's so important that, banks or, any industry sector be nimble and be responsive. And certainly you've been able to do that 400 plus PPPs plus the amount of loans that you talked about, and then hitting $1 billion. But a lot of that comes from a history and an involvement. And, there's probably few institutions in the region, certainly in the financial banking industry, that have the history that you do. And maybe you could just touch on some of that history and how long Fidelity Bank's been around Worcester County.
Yeah, that's a good. We were chartered in 1888. So when we had the name Fidelity before that other little company in Boston had it. So people they wonder if are we related to them. We're not related at all. We're a local, mutually owned bank that's been serving Central Massachusetts for 133 years. And that they didn't call it the life design banking approach back then, but you're kind of a student of all these things. It was just local people getting together to put their money, the savers could save and they could give it to the folks to buy a house. And it was, pretty simple, but the essence of that promise is still the same. And, I haven't been here for 133 years, but I've been here for almost 30. So, it's a long tradition, and I'm, very, very, sort of humbled to be part of the Fidelity Bank tradition.
And we just got about a minute left, but I wouldn't want us to end without, talking about how committed and involved Fidelity Bank is in kind of giving back philanthropically, employees getting engaged and involved in issues and things. Maybe you could just touch on that in the minute we have left.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think it just emanates from the life design approach to the community. What are the big needs? We try to find the biggest needs in the community and put our resources, because we can't do everything. We got to figure out where the biggest needs are. And we do that by talking to local leaders across the nonprofit sector. So I think last year, if you count some special loan funds we put money into last year, probably over $400,000 for a bank our size. That's a major commitment. One example that we like to point out is the Shine initiative that we were sort of the incubator for 15 years ago to help bring awareness to mental health conditions with children and young adults. Now it's its own thriving nonprofit, because that was an unmet need. And obviously we had the crisis last year with a bunch of other folks. We pitched in our money and time. So yeah, I mean, it's really part of the mission. Why do we exist? And that inspires us every day, as well as helping the folks with their financial decisions.
Yeah, well, good stuff. Ed Manzi, Chairman and CEO of Fidelity Bank. Thanks for your involvement, engagement, and that of your entire team. We're going to come right back for our final segment of this edition of Chamber Exchange, the TV show.
Since 1889, Bank Hometown has stepped up to bat for our neighbors. In the past 5 years, we've donated $1.3 million to local organizations that help enrich lives and bring people together. And we're not stopping there. We're always looking to tackle the challenges of today and fuel the leaders of tomorrow. No matter how life changes over the years, we'll continue to show up for our neighbors, for our communities, and for you. Bank Hometown. Unlock your potential.
This is Radio Worcester. Local talk, local news, local events. We got it, and we've got opinions that you're going to want to hear.
That Worcester will be thought of and spoken about.
We're live every morning, 6 to 10 a.m., and if you can't catch us then, you can find us online day and night at radioworcester.com. This is your town. This is your morning show. Talk of the Commonwealth with Hank and Ben.
Just watch me now. Just watch me. Just watch me now. Just watch me. Just watch me now. Just watch me. Just watch me now. It's so good.